Good morning, people. Well, I've just recorded my first entirely in French video, which I wanted to give you a bit of behind the scenes to see how that worked and what was actually going on there. Because it's a lot bigger, harder than you would have thought. And I'm just going to release this video now, and it's just going to be like a one and a half minute video of me speaking a text that I wrote in French and worked on, and it's going to feel like you haven't seen what's actually happening behind there, and it could be, I know, to a learner like me that would look very impressive and very big to see a thing like this from someone who's learning another language. And I wanted to explain what I've actually done to go through this process and how I got to the point where I was recording this video today, just so you can see all the work and the stresses that has gone into this video. Not, I just don't want to hide the reality of the work that has to go in to be able to make that kind of progress. And I'm not saying that I feel like I've made a massive amount of progress, but you know what I mean? To be able to make a video in French is it's a big hurdle for me in that sense. So basically it started because I'd done my last video, and I was like, well, I'm going to make a video in French. It's going to have to happen. It's going to come soon, and I really wanted to do it. So what I did was I wrote out what I wanted to say, and I kept it quite simple, as you can tell by the length of the video, in English. And then what I did was I translated it as best I could into French, and then I gave it to a French teacher who showed me where I'd gone wrong, or where where the grammar was completely out, and switch things around. The way that I said things, obviously, he was able to correct and change, which was really good as well. And this is Arnold from ALK. You can see on Twitter. I'll send you a link. Amazing French teacher, native French as well. Teacher of wonderful languages in schools, so he's incredibly experienced, and also his English is so much better than mine. So if you're looking for a teacher who can speak English impeccably and is native French, don't look any further. He's incredible. We spent a lot of time going through on Skype and reading through the document, and I'd read it in French, and we do it paragraph or line by line sometimes, and he'd say, well, yeah, obviously you sound ridiculous. He didn't actually ever say that, but yeah, it was just kind of like, picking up where my Englishisms were still prevalent in my French, making sure that I was sounding okay. And yeah, we worked on intonation, on pronunciation. It was really, really helpful, and it was a lot of hard work. The video I recorded, I think I did about 7 takes of that video just to get myself to a point where I was comfortable. I probably did about 3 where that would have been okay. Would have been more than fine for a person doing a first video in French, but you've always got that thing where you go, I could just do that bit a bit better, or I could say that word, I've just made that same mistake again. And so yeah, there was a lot of work went into that video, and if you want to do it, it's a great idea to do, learning a script. It's also something that's recommended in one of my books, which is somewhere. But one of the recommendations for learning a language is to create a bank of text which you know off by heart, which you can then almost refer back to, not only as like a safe haven, somewhere you can go if you're in conversation, but also a place that you can reference in your mind for grammar and how would I say that, or how did I say it then, and those kind of things, which is a really good idea. Also, the thing I got most out of this was it was the relearning how to say things in French and phrase things grammatically, but also pronouncing the words correctly was a big thing, and the intonation of French, because it's hard to I find the intonation is so alien, because you're obviously speaking in a different language, so you're trying to emphasize the right words and use that flow that you have in English that's so natural, or whatever your native language is, and having it in another language. So that was really interesting. So yeah, I'm sorry it's been 4 weeks. The Spanish side of things has slipped completely. I just haven't had time. Alongside learning this script and focusing on the French and trying to get some French out there, it's just been a horrible few weeks, really. So yeah, I've been kind of struggling quite hard with life and work and things like that to try and get some time to do French. On that note, my French hasn't suffered because I've been able to, I've been able to make that video, but also I've been doing the regular things. I've been trying to listen. I've been watching things in French. I've been watching The Returned. I've been listening to stuff while I work. I've been reading Eragon I only get a chance to read it like once a week, so not only is it really slow because it's in French, my progress, but actually I only get one hour a week, I think, to actually sit down and read it properly, and that's at swimming. It's kind of like my routine. I take my son swimming, and then he goes into this lesson, and I'm reading Eragon in French, and the dragon baby has just hatched. So that's how far into the book I am, like literally nothing. But I'm enjoying it. It's going well. I'm understanding what's going on. I could understand better. There's a lot of description in there. There's a lot of words I don't understand, but being able to keep up with the story is a great start for me, and I'm just going to keep pushing through it. I'm just going to push through it as much as I can, get as far as I can get, and hopefully just get to the end even even just start it again. I don't know, but I just want to get through, have the feeling of progress. I can imagine the story happening in my mind, which is always a good start, and just having that kind of like feeling of progress and completion, I suppose, is very important. So yes, although I haven't released a video in a long while, it's been quite hard. I also did a Dutch course, which was really good. So there's a website called FutureLearn, and they run free university courses, and this one was a basics into Dutch. It's something I need to, now I've got all this information and I've been through a lot of stuff, I need to I think I'm going to dig into it a little bit. I might put the Spanish on the side because it has been on the side for a little while, and just get myself a bit familiar with Dutch introduction stuff. I'm probably going to get to like A1 level pretty quickly with that. It all seems to make sense. It's very grammatically like English, so that's nice. And yeah, I love the sound of Dutch. I just love it. I hurdy-gurdy. I love it. It's an amazing sounding language, and I've really enjoyed the course. I will link again FutureLearn also in the bottom of this video, just so you can go and check. You can sign up on the website, and they do every kind of 6 months, I think. And there's a big community that do it all together. I might do it again next time, just to sort of, reactivate my Dutch, or to bring it along a bit more, because now I've done it. There's a lot to learn in it. It does say a couple of hours a week or whatever, or a day or something. I can't remember what the actual time allotted to, but there's a lot of content in there. It's a pretty big course for a free course, if you know what I mean. They cover a lot. They throw you right in, and it's very comfortable, though. Everything's explained, and it's another language, and another one that's very interesting. So yeah. So I think that's about it, really. I'm going to now finish drinking my tea. The video has finished rendering, and I'll render this one and put it up as well as an update video, very relaxed update video. You can see the bags under my eyes from life. So, yeah, guys, thanks very much for watching. Please, if you want to follow any more progress, if you've got any questions, anything you want to ask about what I've done with my French, all those kind of questions, just pop them in the comments below. And we'll see you again, hopefully next week. I do want to progress this whole French video thing, so hopefully I'll have another video out with... I'm going to I'll try and do something else. I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again, which is something I'm trying to avoid. I think it was quite good for what I did, in the past videos, so I think keeping myself accountable, but I really pushed to get to this point this few weeks, so yeah, I think pushing forward again, we'll try and make another French video, and I will try and get an update out soon. I might do a Dutch video as well, just to sort of introduce it and to say that it's now part of my life, as to say. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you again next time, hopefully not too long, as I said, and I'm rambling as I do. Yeah, thanks very much. See you again. Bye bye.